Okay, my original intention was to do a short video on the game Friedland, which was Volume 2 in the Eagles of the Empire series, and Volume 1 was the Borodino game. It was by Games USA, and this one, I believe, came out in, 1995. Now, I've got the third volume in the series, Eilau, and I understand the series evolved a little bit. Borodino is a little bit crude, one might say. Friedland, I think they improved on it a little bit, and the best in the series, I believe, was Eilau. And even Eilau, I had a bit of a task setting it up. But this is going to be one of the first time in over 35 years of gaming, and I've got a lot of experience playing Napoleonic games too, that the setup and the order of battle for this game just absolutely, completely defeats me. I'll show you what's happened overall. Okay, I've just spent about 2.5 hours cutting out the counters and sorting them, and I've sorted them fairly efficiently into their cores and divisions the way one would normally expect them to be sorted. And the designer has this handy chart there which gives the breakdown, the order of battle essentially of the Russian army, and he's got the order of battle to the French over here. Now, one would think that all the information to setting up the game would be on these charts. I can assure you they are not. Now, it's taken me about an hour and a half just to set up the Russians here, and I still have units that are left over here. There's this mess of Cossacks here that do appear on the chart here as independent Cossacks. That's great. I'm trying to set up scenario number 5, and I don't see any setup information for them. And there's all kinds of other units that I've not been able to find a setup for. The French is similar, although scenario 5, only really one corps starts on the board, and I'm having trouble even setting up that corps. The rest are by order of appearance. So what I'm trying to say, maybe not even reading between the lines, is that the setup for this game is horrendous, almost the worst I've ever seen. And I think part of it has to do with the very colorful counters you get with it. You know, colorful counters are great, but they've got to be functional. And if you're not intimately acquainted with the order of battle to this battle, I think you're going to have a hell of a time setting it up. It's just nightmarish. And I don't even know if I'm going to be exploring this battle, because I've spent hours in the setup. I'm still not completed the setup, and I'm just coming to the realization that I'm just wondering if this whole game is worth it, which I'm not sure it is. Now, this game was retrofitted. John Mundy did a great fix-up kit for it, because some of you may know that Borodino and Friedland were kind of out of date. The rules weren't very good, and they've now gone to a updated series of rules, which they're calling, I forget the name, what the name of it actually is, but anyway, they've updated it. It's a version 3 now, which is supposed to clean up the whole series and make the game rather playable. Now, I liked the Eilau game a lot, so I might be doing a video on Eilau, but I must confess that Friedland here is completely defeated me. If I can't even set up a scenario in, well, like I said, I've been at it for hours. I'm really ready to chuck the whole game. Now, I know Enrico did a series replay of this game, quite a good one. It lasted for several hours. He went through the game, and I think in the early episodes of that video, you could sense the frustration he had in with the order of appearance, and I sympathize with his frustration because I'm feeling the same thing. It's just that these counters are not all listed in the order of appearance, which is you're supposed to go by this. And if I'm having this kind of trouble just setting up the game, I can't even imagine what it would be like playing it, trying to get the core and activation system. In other words, I just don't think it's worth it. I've played Eilau, and for all the bother in the activation system and the command, it just adds a lot of chrome really for nothing. The system is just not that complicated. The command structure doesn't need to be that complicated. And I won't say much more than about the system, because I'd rather keep comments on the system itself for iLao. It's just that I have to give up on Friedland here. I'm not even going to play it. It's just not worth any more time. I've spent hours at this thing, and I think that's kind of enough. So that's my little capsule impression of Friedland. Sorry to all those people out there who think this is a great game, but I'm afraid I just couldn't even give it a start. There is some errata, which I am aware of, that came with the game, and I'm not saying that the errata, without this errata, or with the errata, that corrects everything. There's only one minor errata for the Russian setup with the Uvarovs cavalry. They say, well, instead of 1, 2, 3, and 4, you use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Well, that's great, but we've got a heck of a lot of Cossacks over here that have no placement hex or placement area. We've got units that I can't find anywhere in the order of battle, all kinds, especially leaders. And I've pulled a historical order of battle from the net, and even then I'm having trouble setting up the game. So I'm chucking it, and who knows? Maybe I'll return to it 6 months from now, a year from now. Don't know. But that's my impression of Friedland. And I really do not like giving a negative review of a game or negative comments. I know how much work goes into these things. This was obviously a labor of love. Somebody worked very hard on this game. But I think the developers let down the designer or something. Something went wrong with this game. I mean, holy cow. If you can't even set it up. And I don't know. So I sorry to say I cannot recommend Friedland, but I certainly can't comment on play, can I? Since I'm unable to even set it up and play it. Congratulations to Enrico there. I'm glad you were able to at least give it a try, but I think I'm chucking it. Now, I don't know if I'll post this thing or not. I got to think about it. Maybe give it 24 hours, think about it, but you know, part of me says I should post it. Anyway, that's it for my comments on Friedland, part of the Eagles of the Empire system.